Hey everyone, welcome back to Echo. In this video, we'll be talking about object-oriented programming in Python, or more so how you can use ChatGPT or OpenAI's Playground to actually allow it to teach you about these concepts in programming. So this is more a video about learning how to learn, using these language models to leverage them for your own benefit and learning experience. Here I had actually put in a prompt. I said, "You are my tutor for object-oriented programming in Python." OOP is short for that, right? "Explain to me everything in great detail and give code examples with explanations. Give persons as examples." I put this in because when I was trying it, it was giving cats and dogs as examples. Doesn't really matter. The concepts are the same. So it really gives a detailed explanation. And I just wanted to restart this so we can see it doing it all over again. And we'll go through it, copy and paste the code, and try to understand as much as we can, and try to get ChatGPT to teach us as much as it can. It's not using the markup. That's fine. Let's restart real quick. There we go. So let's read. Object-oriented programming is a programming paradigm that is based on the concept of objects, which can contain data and code that manipulates that data. In Python, a class is used to define the structure and behavior of an object. Here's a simple example of a class in Python. So we define a class by saying class first, and then the name of the class, and then colon. And then we define an init method, which receives attributes. And then we define them by saying self.name equals name, self.age equals age. The reason why we say self is that because when we say self, we know that we are referring to this class. So this is a bit different than writing a regular function because you're doing this init. You don't always have to do this, I believe, but this is the comprehensive way of doing it. And then next, so this person will have two attributes, name and age, right? And then it will have a method called say hello. So def defines, right, this function. In this case, it's a method for this class. This is the say hello class, and you put in self so that it refers to the class. Then it's going to print hello, my name is whatever the name is, self.name, and I am self.age years old. So that you can assign it, you can create an instance of this class. P equals person, John 30. See, name and then the age, John 30. And then when we say p.sayHello and call that method on this instance of the class, then the output will be, hello, my name is John and I am 30 years old. Let's check this out. If we were to run this, hello, my name is John and I am 30 years old, as expected. It says, in this example, we have defined a person class with the init method, which is a special method in Python that is used to initialize an object. The init method takes two arguments, name and age, which are the attributes of the object. We also have a say hello method, this one right here, which prints a message using the name and age attributes of the object. So the method have access to these variables attributes that are declared. To create an object of the person class, we call the class name as if it were a function and pass in the required arguments, in this case John and 30 for name and age. This creates a new object and assigns it to the variable p. We can then access the object's attributes and methods using dot notation, as shown in the example. I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions or need further clarification. Please continue to tell me more about object-oriented programming. Let's see what it says. Certainly, here are some more concepts related to object-oriented programming in Python. Inheritance. Inheritance is a way to create a new class that is a modified version of an existing class. The new class is called the derived class, and the existing class is the base class. For example, let's say we have a base class shape, and we want to create a derived class rectangle that has additional attributes, behaviors related to rectangles. Here is how we can do this in Python. Here we go. So again, creating a class called shape, and then we initialize it just with the name. Self.name is the name. And then we are going to create a class rectangle, and we put in this shape class inside almost like an argument into this class. Now, which means that this rectangle class will inherit from the shape class, which means the name will automatically will be inherited. And then we say name with height, and then you can say super.init name. It is probably going to explain it here. If not, we'll ask it self.width. So, but rectangle object is inheriting from the shape object, but it's also having two other attributes, width and height, which the shape object does not have. Because the shape can be a circle, for example, in which case it won't have a width or height. Then we're creating an instance of it, rect, assigning it a rectangle, and then its name, rectangle, with a 5 width and 10 height. And then when we print rect name, then the output will be rectangle. It says, in this example, the rectangle class is derived from the shape class. The rectangle class is an init method that takes 3 arguments, name, width, and height. The init method calls the init method of the base class using the super function, which allows us to initialize the name attribute of the rectangle object. And then there's also polymorphism. Before we read it, from what I understand, it is very similar to inheritance. It's just that with inheritance, you're keeping the original method or the attribute and adding more to it, which then is inheritance. And in polymorphism, I believe when you change the original attributes or method of the base class, then it becomes polymorphism. Let's read. Polymorphism is the ability of a class to take on multiple forms. In Python, polymorphism can be derived through inheritance, where a derived class can override or extend the method of the base class. So override, I believe, is the key word here. For example, let's say we have a shape class with the area method that calculates the area of a shape. Here we go. It didn't actually write it, but we can get we can try to get Copilot to complete it for us. Anyway, but so there's an area method, and then the square gets inherits from the shape, right? And then it adds a side attribute to it. It inherits the name and then adds a side attribute. And then, oh, it's actually defining it here. Define the area, return self.side square, because it's a square. So the original class did have the area, but did not have it defined. And we are inheriting with the square and then redefining the area. Actually, we're doing polymorphism when we do that. Then we have a class called circle, which then, again, gets it from the shape. But then this time it gets a radius argument. And then now we calculate the area pi times radius squared, right? And then we assign s to square to create an instance of it. And then when we print the area, when we call the area method on it by s.area, like we would do as a function, it's a method. Then the output is 25, and with the circle, the same thing. We give the side here and then the radius. Then the area is 314. Let's continue reading. In this example, we have a square class and a circle class that are both derived from the shape class. Both classes have their own implementation of the area method, which calculates the area of the shape in a different way. This is an example of polymorphism because the area method can take on multiple forms depending on the derived class that is being used. I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions or need further clarification. So this is, I think, the important part. This is an example of polymorphism because the area method can take on multiple forms depending on the derived class that is being used. So I guess the reason it defines it but leaves its definition. It just declares it but leaves its definition blank so that the square and the circle can redefine it as we did right here. This is pretty cool. And this is called polymorphism. If we were to print it, run it, 25 for the square and 314 for the area of the circle. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this helped. Let me know if you have any questions or need further clarification. We'll end the video here. I just wanted to make a quick one for object-oriented programming. But I just want to push the point that you can keep asking questions to it, or ask for different examples. We say, can you please give me another example? Because I feel confused with the examples you have given. I mean, we are not confused, but what if we were? And then certainly here's another, and then now it's going to give an animal example. It initializes it with name and species, okay, and then it makes a make sound and passes it. Make sound is a method, and then inherits from animal class. Dog inherits from the animal class, and then now it has a breed. And then this is species is dog. It instantiates it with species being dog, and gives it an additional attribute called breed, and then make a sound, which then the dog says wolf. And a cat, species cat, and returns meow. And dog's name is Max, and he's a Labrador, because it's the breed. And then if you print the name is Max, species is dog, breed is Labrador. When D makes a sound, Max makes a sound, then it says wolf. And the cat's name is Molly, species is cat, C.breed, Siamese makes a sound, it's meow. And you can read the rest of it as well. So you can keep asking more questions for more examples to help it clarify the things for you if you have difficulty. And if you were to run this, yep, Max, dog, Labrador, and says wolf. Molly is a cat of Siamese breed and says meow. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe to be notified of the future videos, and I always appreciate your comments. Thank you for watching.